It's time for Rashad to review Black Lightning, Episode 4. This is Rashad's review, where we give you the real deal on movies and TV shows that you just don't have time to watch. So, if you want to get more reviews on movies and TV shows that you just don't have time to watch, make sure you like and subscribe to Color Commentary so you can get more reviews of TV. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Today we're going to be covering Black Lightning, Episode 4. So here's a synopsis. Jefferson Pierce is continuing to deal with the stress of being a high school principal, a father, an ex-husband, and now also Black Lightning. You're talking about multitasking. In addition, a new drug is contaminating the streets and is causing real problems in the community and at the school. Plus, his daughter, Anissa, is learning to deal with her powers and is really in the process of making a decision as far as her becoming a vigilante. Tobias, in the meantime, is taking a different approach towards the community, and something is happening with Gamby. What's going on here? Let's do that non-spoiler review. So for our non-spoiler review, some people said that the previous episode, which was called Lawanda, the Book of Burial, was the slower episode of the last three. I disagree. I didn't really think that one was all that slow, because even though there wasn't as much action as the first two, it was very emotionally compelling. I was just so drawn in to everything that's happening. You get to see Khalil get shot. I'm sorry. Hey, it's not a spoiler because it's in the previous episode. So before you watch this one, you need to be have watched the third episode. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, you saw Khalil get shot. You saw some other things that were happening as far as the youngest daughter, Jennifer, and her relationship to Khalil. So even though it wasn't as much action, I was still really drawn in. In this one, I would say that this is the slower episode. And that's okay. Every episode doesn't have to be, and there was a good bit of with the Black Lightning powers, but it doesn't have to be emotionally compelling sometimes. Basically, what happens in this episode is you're just continuing to see hey, you know what? What I need to do is go this way, because it takes the camera and go backwards. Which one looks better to you guys? Give me a vote. Is it this way or this way? I'm going to go this way. Anyway, so what you get to see is the gradual progression of the characters going from where they started into where they're going to continue to go. So I think it's still pretty interesting here. In addition, we also get the chance to see another look at Jill Scott as Lady Eve, who I like a lot more in this episode. The main thing I did like about this episode was the suspense behind Gamby. You'll just have to watch to see what I'm talking about. But I'm like, man, Gamby, what's your deal, man? Like, what's your problem? What's going on? Why aren't you telling us? Man, also, once again, we get the chance to see a new power from Black Lightning again. I'm telling you what, it's like every episode is like getting a prize in a cereal box. Like every single episode, we're seeing something brand new. Which reminds me, why is it that we don't get prizes in cereal boxes when you become an adult? I mean, I used to eat Frosted Flakes because they're the cereal that kids have grown to love. They're great. And I used to get a prize. But now, I wanted to cut down on my sugar. I switched over to Special K. And when I open up my Special K, and I do get the one with the chocolate in it because otherwise I wouldn't be able to survive off of Special K. It's just bland. But on top of the blandness, plus my chocolate, I don't get anything. I might get a recipe for something on the back. Hey, cereal companies, change that. Give us some prizes. I need like a new cell phone, or maybe a get out of rent free month card. Anyway, should you see this show? Again, what do you mean, should you see this show? You should be watching every episode of this show. You need to set your DVR, or really just set your alarm clock, because y'all don't know how to program your DVRs. But you need to set something to make sure that you are recording this show, because this is a very good show. It's a very well written script, and the action overall and the direction of the show is very, very good. So now it's time for the spoiler review. So if you haven't seen this show yet, if you haven't seen this movie, I don't know what's wrong with you, and I don't know why I said it's a movie, because it's not a movie, it's a TV show. Black Panther is a movie, Black Lightning is a TV show. That's just way too much. We got a Black History Month. It's just a lot of black going on right now. I'm wearing a black shirt. It's a lot of blackness happening right here. But whatever you do, you need to go and watch this show. So get out of here, press that pause button, press stop, do what you need to do, go watch that, and then come back and check this out. Get out of here. Go now. So now it's time for spoilers. Spoiler time. The main thing I liked about this episode was really the suspense concerning Gambi. I mean, it's like, Gambi, he sees the daughter, Anissa. We don't know if he knows that it's Anissa. I don't think that he knows because she had on the hood. I mean, all she was doing was walking. Why would it be her? It's just weird. But, he's like, he lies to Black Lightning and doesn't tell him, hey, somebody's out there with some powers. Why is he lying? Okay, it's one thing to, in the last episode, lie about seeing Tobias and delete his image. Maybe he's a bad guy or something like that. But in this is like completely different. Like, he's lying about Anissa's existence, and then not only does he lie about that, or somebody having superpowers, not only does he lie about that, but then he grabs a gun, like this. Well, this is a drumstick. But anyway, he takes a gun, and he doesn't even bother to wait till he gets to the place where Anissa is to cock the gun. I mean, he loads the gun right now. Like, he's ready to shoot right now. What is the deal? Gambi, we need to know what's going on with you, man. But I love that. This episode overall was a little slower, but the suspense with his character was so interesting. Also, the whole thing where my man is like, man, let me get a selfie with you. That was great. Just add a little bit of comedy. It seems like every episode we're getting a little something different. In this one, we got a little comedy, and I loved it. It's like, let me get a selfie. What? Also, I liked about there is some very strong fathering going on in this show here. Jefferson Pierce, Black Lightning, is trying to be there for his kids, but also you get a chance to see Bernard's father. Bernard was a young man that was hooked on the green light drug, and you get a chance to see him there. He really wants to be there, and you see his pain. It's like, I sacrificed everything for this young man to be able to have a future. And it's just a pleasant change to see all this good fathering going on. We see a lot of good mothering in a lot of TV shows and a lot of roles, but a lot of times we just don't see the father. The father is absent sometimes, and so all these good father figures, you could definitely tell that's very prevalent. They think about that as far as the writing is concerned and as far as the direction is concerned. So kudos to you guys on that. Now let's talk about Jill Scott's and Tobias's characters again. These guys, let me tell you something. You don't want to mess with these guys. I like Jill Scott a whole lot more in this episode than in the previous episode. I told you in the previous episode she was a little over the top. Why I would think she was less over the top in this episode when she was embalming a guy that was still alive, I don't know. Maybe there's something wrong with me. But her demeanor was just a little bit more relaxed and more normal. But at the same token, she's stabbing this dude with a giant knife and just having a regular conversation. Yeah, Tobias, you need to go ahead and, get what you got going on and go ahead and fix that, because we put you in charge of this and that and the other, and I'm stabbing this guy, and he can't feel anything. I guess he's got amnesia going on. But don't worry about that. I mean, wow. Don't mess with these people. You know what? Again, as you're looking for a job and you see, hey, come work for Tobias, come work for Lady Eve, Jill Scott's character, you might want to pass on that one because like I told you in the last episode, you're going to get stabbed. Now let's talk about Tobias. Tobias is, man, he's brutal, man. He went back to his old doctor that was supposed to proclaim Black Lightning dead and had his henchmen beat him to death. After he finished beating him, then his henchmen had to beat him to death. These guys don't play around, man. So, yeah, stay out of that area. let's also talk about Vice Principal Mrs. Fowley. I can't wait to talk about this. Sky Marshall, I know you. Sky and I went to school together. We marched in the great Hampton University Marching Force together back in 1999. She was one of the Ebony Fire dancers, who definitely were one of the best dance squads of the style at the time, no doubt. I mean, just go back and watch the videotapes of Hampton's band in 1999. You will see that Ebony Fire was all of that. And Sky was great. But I haven't had the chance to really talk about her a lot because her role in the last couple episodes has been diminished. So now she gets to play more of an important role. I like how she was able to stand up for herself and say, you know, I'm not the secretary. You want to send a message, go do it yourself. What's funny about that, though, is that at the end of the episode, then she comes in with a message from the school board and then goes to deliver the message back to the school board. So I don't know what she was standing up for, if she's just going to go ahead and do it the same thing in the end. But boy, man, that tension there, that sexual tension is so interesting. Because she's like, you know, if there's anything that you need, anything at all, anything that you need, anything at gmail.com. You know what I mean? She's like, hey, like, I'm here. Anything your wife is not providing, she's not giving you that support that you need to be about Mrs. Fowley. Or Miss Fowley, whichever. But anyway, Black Lightning, he's just like, I mean, he's like completely blind to that. He can't even see. I guess he likes the short haircut. You know, he likes girls with the hair that's about my length right here. It's like, no, I can't even see you, Miss Fowley, because I need to have a close cut, and all this hair that you got going on is just not turning me on. Hopefully he will get with her, because his wife is just giving too much problems. I see that there's going to be a sexual encounter that's going to happen with them. And it's probably going to be right around the time that he and his wife really start connecting. So that's going to be interesting to see in the future. Let's see what else we got here. Let's talk about what I didn't like. Wasn't a whole lot I didn't like about this. The only three things I didn't like. Number one, the fight scene at the end. It looked it. Hashtag looked it. Some of y'all don't even know that's wrong. Hashtag looked it. Anyway, the fight scene at the end looked like some professional wrestling staging going on. I mean, it was like, you know, okay, you throw your punch here, way over here, not even like you're trying to hit me, and I'm going to grab your arm, and then you wait right here, and then I'm going to throw you over here. I said, like in our color commentary review, that he was a little slow, and I apologize for that. He's not really all that slow. But this fight scene really wasn't up to the caliber of some of the others. You know, let's make it at least look realistic as far as the fights are concerned. This one, the daughter, Jennifer, not speaking up and telling Khalil how she felt. You know, when she came and she told, hey, Khalil, you know, I quit the track squad. And he just doesn't even pay attention to that. Okay, she should have just told him how she felt. Like, hey, Khalil, listen, I know we're about you right now and everything that you're going on, but listen, I need you to listen to me as well, because I'm here for you, but I need you to consider my feelings. I quit the track squad for you. What would it take for her to be able to say that? I can't be but so mad, because this is real life situations. This type of stuff happens. But it always bothers me in TV shows and movies where things just go unsaid. And now she's going to break up with him. We all know this. Sometime in the future, she's going to break up with him. And probably some of the reasons will be like, oh, Khalil, you're all caught up on yourself and blah, 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 blah. You don't have any time for me. Where if she had just, hey, listen, let's go ahead and get this out the way right now. Let you know how I feel at the beginning. Probably would have worked a little bit better. The last thing I didn't like was Tobias being in the brother's hospital room at the end, and that close-up on his face. Like, Tobias is a really threatening character, but when they focus in on his face, it's like, I don't know, man. Is it just me that he just looked like he looked like Mini-Me to me from Austin Powers? Not that he looks short, but if you look at Mini-Me's face, you know, like, you know, that strange face he has, it looks like Tobias. So just don't do that anymore. Close in on his face with the light shining on his face. Just did not look threatening. So now that this is all said and done, let's make sure let's do this together. Let's make sure together to give this a video, hashtag looked at this video. Let's make sure to give this video a like if you liked it. And remember, you gotta subscribe to survive. Oh, one more thing. Make sure you go to the comments and tell me that I'm right or tell me that I'm wrong. And that has been Rashad's review.